Hello friends, and today we are going to learn about what are we going to do in terms of collecting customer data and collecting item data, how this data is going to be imported into Inclusive, some of the basic concepts and file formats. So this is the latest format of Inclusive Cloud that we are going to look into. Now, one place where you can find these file formats is you can go into utility and you can go into upload link. And here you now have two options. One is upload items and one is upload bulk customers. When you go into upload items, you have an instructions tab and you can download the demo file from here. Similarly, when you go back and you can open this file, and when you go back, you can also upload the customer file. Now the item file has got something known as collection, serial number, quality, design, shade, item name, RRP, vendor name, purchase price, reorder lead time, which is RLT, HSN code, color tag, and brand. Now, how do these work? It's very simple. You normally would have catalog books. So if you're from the furnishing or the wallpaper or you are from the laminate industry, you work with catalogs, and these catalogs have got unique page numbers and collection names. I'll show you a photograph to explain you better. Normally, furnishing catalogs would look something like this, and behind each catalog, there will be a label which defines what is the product and what is the collection serial number of the product. Now, you have to use this to populate in the Excel sheet. Say, for example, your collection is called as Temple Furniture, and your pattern or your serial number is 3758, and your pattern or design is Coronado Azalea. So how does this work is what I'll show you right now. Now, in the example we saw, we had a collection name which was like Temple Collection. The serial number is 3854. You can have a quality, design, and shade, which is not mandatory. If you're not using it, you can leave it blank. But if you have quality, design, and shade, you can put, say, a quality name as Temple and the design name, like we saw there, Coronado, and a shade name, Azalea. The item name can be any unique name, which is a combination of the quality, design, and shade. You have the recommended retail price, which is the price at which the product is going to sell to end consumers, which is the vendor from whom you buy this particular product, what is the purchase price, what is the reorder lead time? That is, if you give an order to the vendor, how many days does he take to manufacture and supply this product? And then the HSN code. So you would have multiple fabrics in Temple collection. So you basically have something like different fabrics, and these serial numbers sometimes would move like this only in a sequence. Your quality would be same. Maybe your designs, five of them would be from a particular design. This would be from a Gothic design. So you could have multiple designs. So which is reflected in the picture that you saw. And then you have different colors. So you could have a red, you could have a blue, you could have a maroon, and so on and so forth. And accordingly, each of them will form a unique SKU. So each of them will be having its unique stock. Each of them will have its unique price, and each of them will have its unique place in the collection. So this is how the item data is prepared. It is a pretty simple process. Do not confuse if you don't use quality, design, and shade. All you need to do is you can go to product category master. And in product categories, when you look at your category, you can make quality, design, and shade available as no. So the moment you make this no, you don't need to enter QDS in your masters and upload it. So this was a very simple, straightforward entry of the item master. Now let's move to the customer master. Again, for customers, you have reached the same menu through utility and go to upload bulk customer. And here you have instructions to download a demo file. Now this is the customer file, which is again pretty simple. You have a serial number which could run 1, 2, 3. You have a name of a customer, the PAN number, credit limit, payment terms, broker, if any, brokerage, the addresses, address line 1 and 2. Please ensure that you have at least three characters in both the address lines, because that is what e-invoice mandates. You have a country, state, city. The PIN code, the PIN code is again a mandatory field, because GST e-invoicing requires that you define the PIN code to which you are sending the material. The GSTIN of the customer, most important to notice, if the GSTIN is missing, you have to put a dash. A dash in our system represents URP, or unregistered party. Sometimes while putting a dash, it may take it as a formula. So always put a single quote, which is a single quotation mark, and then put a dash. So it will always take a dash. Contact person, whoever is your contact at the customer's end, the designation of that person, contact number, email ID, and a courier. Now, it is important that you define a courier, because the system generally requires you to ensure that there is one courier in all the data that you are entering. So this is a pretty straightforward data without much complication. Any existing system that you use will have this data. Apart from that, you can always create this data if you have never been using a system. In this, neither are the broker or the brokerage mandatory. And if you require any help with the credit term and the payment terms, we can explain those further, or you can look at the video for the credit limit and the payment term separately. So we've tried to understand in a very simple way how to create items and how to create customers in bulk using the system. You can always do this using the customer and the item master forms and add them one by one. You always can opt to add all those data one after the other. So thank you for your time, and hope that you keep learning with Incluziv Cloud.